It's time for some Mike Likes It.
What did your friend say about Mike Likes It? It's called Mike Likes It, but it seems like he just talks about things he doesn't like.
That was my friend.
That was my friend.
That was Jess. And she said it should be called Mike Hates It.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if this is a hates it, but once again, it's not a positive. So Tyler Smith, for the most part, did a very good job, right? He had great moments, right? And Micah Parsons, arguably the best defensive player in the NFL. I know there's Khalil Mack. There's obviously TJ Watt before he got hurt. He's in the conversation of best defensive player in the NFL. So those are our last 2 first-round picks. A lot of time to go.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about, though, our second and third round picks from 2021?
Yes.
So were those just complete total wastes?
So our second round pick, Sam Williams, got 6 snaps.
I know, but even the year before.
Oh, yeah. And Jalen Tolbert wasn't even active.
Yeah.
Joseph and Wright. I mean, I'm concerned.
So these are things that turn you into a bad franchise for years to come. Because when we start thinking about the Cowboys and the NFL, when you start drafting bad in the second, third, and fourth round and struggle to get people who are starters in their second year and strong contributors in their third year, that's when we went to crap. And that's when the Cowboys started going 8-8. And that's where Jerry blames kind of himself. The Tony Romo, right? You start having bad drafts and then you go, oh no, we have no depth in this organization.
Mike, you know Joseph and Wright would be starting out there if these guys weren't there.
Probably right. They'd probably start for 31 other teams.
No, I didn't say that.
Oh.
But you know, that's the Cowboys' approach is, well, there are guys, so they're starting. So if they didn't have Diggs and Brown in that place, they would be like, well, I mean, naturally they're starters. We can't go buy free agents. Why would we do that?
I hope you're right. I know. Are you being sarcastic?
No, I mean, I'm dead serious. I think the Cowboys' approach would be that Joseph, you know what? We drafted him. We don't have a cornerback. We're not going to go sign a cornerback to go beat these guys out. Let's go ahead and kind of like the Rangers. Let's just thrust them into the spot and see if they sink or swim.
I guess what I'm thinking about is right now, and I have no clue about Sam Williams and Jalen Tolbert, but here they are, your second, third round picks. They're really not ready to play in the NFL right now in week 1. Maybe by week 10 of their rookie year, they will be. We'll find out. But here we are in year 2 of the 2 cornerbacks we drafted to make impacts, and they can't get on the field. And maybe to Corey's point, maybe we're so good at cornerback, there's just nothing you could do. I mean, we could draft Deion Sanders and we'd be like, we're sorry.
Oh, no, I'm saying even still, Mike, if Diggs wasn't there and Brown wasn't there, I think the Cowboys would say Joseph's our starter.
I got you.
Nashawn Wright's our starter, and because we drafted him, they need to get out there. That's what I think that their approach would be. Not that they're so good. I do think Diggs is really good, but I'm saying I think that they would just say, well, next man up, instead of let's go get a free agent like Jackson to throw in here. I will say I'm still trying to figure out Golston's place. Still trying to figure. I think Osa did okay, but I agree with you on the cornerbacks. They're not good enough yet.
Okay, my next one. I want to play this hypothetical with you. Let's pretend the Dak injury did not happen. He never got hit in the hand. The game, let's say, ends up 19-3. I know Dak would have had one more possession in the game, and let's just say it goes like the Cooper Rush
I get you.
situation.
Yeah.
Let's pretend Dak doesn't get hurt, because that's been the whole storyline, and I totally get why it's a storyline. What were your guys' records before the season started?
10-7.
11-6.
Dak does not get hurt. You lose 19-3. The furthest time you ever moved the ball was your first possession to the 31, and you never threatened again to even have an attempt at a field goal. What would your record be today for the Dallas Cowboys?
8-9.
6-11.
Wow.
Not bad. What do you think the record's going to be now that Dak's going to miss probably one game? Maybe not.
I'm going to say at least 3.
13-4 then.
Yeah.
No, I really don't think it would have been 6-11, by the way. But they, as poor as they looked, I think something would have had to have changed throughout the season for them to say, oh, you know what? Actually, our offensive line did hold up better than we thought it would. Or, we're not going to do this with our passing game. Right now, you're asking what my record is looking at that right now.
No, well, yeah. So both. Obviously, Dak doesn't get hurt. The hypothetical. You said 6-11, but you're saying
I would say maybe 8 wins.
8-9. So both of you would be at 8-9 if the Dak injury didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
based on how they were looking.
I will just say, like, that's a big drop for one game with no injuries. He drops 3, I drop 2, and then, right to change your mind even further after the Bengals game. That's a big drop.
I do have to consider, though, that the Buccaneers' defense is good. Like that, I do have to think, like, are they that good? Yeah. I don't want to give them that much credit because of how poorly the Cowboys looked through that game, but they were playing a really good defense. So I want to give that a little credence because I don't think you're going to play that great of a defense every week.
I know this is a question you probably need the Cowboys scheduled pulled up for on your computer. When's the first game the Cowboys score 20 points?
I think
New York.
Yeah, I think that New York or Washington game, I'll pick them to win one of those two. Like, as we get closer, I'll give you a better idea. But one of those two, they'll get it done.
They'll get 20-plus points on the board.
And win the game.
And if not then, October 23rd against the Lions.
Okay. October 23rd. Now, this is me asking the question, so I'll answer first. I'm going to be way more excited October 23rd about the Mavericks starting their season.
Right.
Will you go, thank God the Mavericks are starting the season by October 23rd?
I think it's possible. I was just looking at it. I could see an easy path to 1-5. I'm not saying that will absolutely be it, but just my initial thought is I could see 1-5, which would suck.
What did you?
It's better.
Oh my gosh, dude! We've lived this, man.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious. We lived this with the year that Romo got hurt and we were doing Brandon Whedon and Matt Cass and whoever else we could find. We've lived this nightmare, and it is the worst. Going through that season this early, this injury this early in the season with this much left to go. And there's nothing saying that when Dak gets back, he's going to continue to stay healthy. I mean, if Kevin's right and he is injury prone, then it could something could pop up again. We've lived this nightmare. This season could be terrifying.
Okay, so we had 2015 you just mentioned, and we had COVID year 2020 with the Dak injury where we played meaningless December football. 100% after Thanksgiving, you knew this is a waste of time. You can watch it if you want. Do you remember what you did with your Sundays on those times? Were you still all in on football, or did you find yourself watching a movie with your girlfriend or wife?
I was still all in on the Cowboys. Well, I was still in on the Cowboys, but I feel like in and all in is a different deal. You could leave the room for a play, whereas Sunday night, if for any reason you had to leave the room or we had to stop down for the baby, pause the game, and then catch back up on the commercials and everything like that. It made it much easier to either do that, or if we were doing tours at the restaurants and stuff, engage with people at, the Twin Peaks or wherever.
I think it was 15 we were doing Dave & Buster's.
Okay, then engage with people at the Dave & Buster's.
Because I remember it was against the Saints or the Eagles one night over at the one here in Dallas, and I was just sitting there going, oh, and it was just hard. It was difficult. But I guess during the pandemic, whenever we were at the house and that happened to Dak, it was a lot of just sitting there staring at the TV and just being like, this is, oh my gosh. I was there, but I was zoned out of it, man. It was
I already see people texting in. They're like, I'm not going to watch until Dak comes back, which is interesting.